Hang on, everybody. I'm just trying to get a little comfortable. Cat might be coming over, too. Let's see what he does. Can I flip the camera? Yes, I can. Oh, but all you see is the light. Hang on. Let me pull this up. You can see my cat over here. He's coming. He looks like he's gonna come over. You jumping over? You got this. Nope, never mind. Thank you coming up? Oh, good boy. There you go. That's a good boy. Flip the screen again. Alright. So, today is going to be this evening is going to be a reading night for me. All I'm going to be doing is reading out loud. It is going to be... Cass is driving. It's going to be this story over here. Right here. So this is my story. I wrote and published this. We're on chapter 2 today. So if anybody, I don't know if anybody's even in here, but if anybody is in here, feel free to stick around. If you just need someone to drone on, so you can go to bed, feel free to listen to me. I feel like I'm not going to be all that exciting. Chat function is more... Ooh, nope, that's not what I want. Chat function is more or less turned off. There we go. Alright. You're really just seeing my face as I read. I apologize for that. It'd probably be better if you saw him, because Daiki is cute. But Raven. Didn't expect to see you here. I can't actually see what you just immediately, or we will respond with... No, I'm not pulling back. We're gonna keep going. You can respond with lethal force if you need to. Alright, here we are. So today we are on chapter... Oh, right there. I think it's just some of my, some of the gel that I use. I use it's called Yerbamate. I use it on my eyes. You can see I got the Itachi face. I did. I came here to fight. Alright, here we are. Chapter 2 of Severing Time and Space. If you want to become stronger, the first thing we need to do is acquire more knowledge. Notification. It said that the first step to becoming stronger is by being smarter about how you train. Perhaps we should head to the library. They may have some books on how to get started, Wu Meiying suggested. Wu Jian agreed, but they were unable to leave the hospital wing before the door opened and someone else walked in. She wore a white and blue Rukun Hanfu with floral designs printed on the fabric. Her skin was tanner than both his and Wu Meiying's, but she was still a pretty woman with a kind smile and black hair tied into a bun on her head. Oh my, Jian Bao and Mei Er, what are you two doing here? Did one of you get injured? The woman asked. She is Wu Jian's mother, the first wife of his father, and therefore the most powerful woman in the clan. Oh, hello, bot F2W6I. Hope you're doing well this evening. Eileen Ai, Wu Meiying greeted. She paused and bit her lip. Wu Jian could see it in her eyes. She was thinking of telling his mother about what happened between him and Wu Yang. I just slipped on the snow and smacked my face, Wu Jian explained. Is that really what happened? His mother asked with a raised eyebrow. Wu Jian looked down and nodded once. His mother remained silent for several seconds, but then she sighed. I see. I'm glad that's all that happened. Please be more careful in the future. I would hate it if something happened to my little man. Muqin, please don't call me that, Wu Jian muttered, but his mother laughed his words off, stroked his and Wu Meiying's hair, and sent them on their way. His mother was his father's first wife, and therefore the primary wife. She was something of an oddball among the clan, too. Everyone called her a free spirit, though there were some who also called her stubborn. His mother liked to do whatever she wanted, which meant she often did a bunch of different activities within the clan, and woe to anyone who tried to stop her. That was probably why she got along with Wu Meiying so well. Of course, she did all the things a clan leader's wife was supposed to do. She oversaw the management of the household, including supervising the servants and organizing domestic tasks. But she also possessed an adventurous spirit that led to her engaging in unconventional hobbies. Wu Jian still remembered when his mom decided to learn lockpicking and went around unlocking the doors to various clansmen's rooms as a prank. Wu Wei had not been pleased and lectured her for several hours, though all it earned him was a headache when she ignored his words. He and Wu Meiying traveled to the library next. It was a 2-story pagoda, even bigger than the hospital wing. Wu Jian entered alongside his best friend and looked at the shelves lined with books and scrolls. There weren't a lot of people in the library, but that was because most people preferred to train their bodies instead of their minds. They only used the library when they needed to find a new technique to study. Oh ho ho! If it isn't Jianbao and Mei Er, what are you two doing in the library? Are you here for another book? Asked a person sitting behind a desk. He was an old man with gray hair bordering on white and a drooping Fu Manchu mustache. His back was stooped like he had spent his entire life leaning over a desk. Wu Yeye, we're here to look for a cultivation method for Wu Jian, Wu Meiying said. Wu Yeye was the custodian of the Wu clan library, and had been since before Wu Jian was even born. He was a kind old man. Wu Jian would often visit the library to read, because it offered him an escape from the bullying of Wu Yang and the other kids. The library gave him solace. He and Wu Meiying loved to read all the storybooks. Their favorites were the books about heroes, going on adventures and saving the people from great evil. Wu Yeye always knew what books to pick for them to read. Wu Yeye stroked his beard. A cultivation method, you say? My dear girl, you know that both you and Jianbao are far too young to cultivate, do you not? Attempting to cultivate your qi before you turn 18 years old is detrimental to your growth. Not only will trying to cultivate before you reach adulthood have a sequela, but it can also result in deformities forming in your body. You wouldn't want Jianbao getting strange growths on his body because he tried to cultivate before he came of age, do you? We know that, but that doesn't mean we can't find a good cultivation method to use once he comes of age, right? Wu Meiying said with a smile. Wu Yeye stroked his beard thoughtfully. Oh ho ho! Yes, that is true. Well, I wouldn't recommend looking for a cultivation method right now. But How about I give you an introductory scroll that teaches you about cultivation instead? Cultivation wasn't taught to clansmen until they turned 18, the age of maturity when a person's dantian and meridians fully formed. That was the age when children were considered adults. However, that did not mean they couldn't study it on their own time before then. That works, Wu Meiying said, after pondering for a moment. Thank you, Wu Yeye. Wu Jian held out his hand, placed his right fist into the palm of his left hand, and bowed his head in a show of respect. This was called a martial bow. All children of the clan were taught to do this at a young age. It was supposedly a commonplace bow that everyone across the continent did. Wu Yeye waved off their thanks with a smile. Think nothing of it. I keep getting a notification, but no one's talking. Wu Yeye walked over to a bookshelf with scrolls sitting on displays, plucked one from the shelf, and handed it to Wu Meiying. This one should suit your purposes, he said. Thank you, Wu Yeye, Wu Meiying and Wu Jian said in unison. They didn't travel into the library to sit on a table. Neither of them were tall enough for their feet to reach the floor. Instead, Wu Jian and Wu Meiying walked to the passage connecting the library to the dojo and found a place to sit. Their favorite spot offered them a great view of a snow-covered courtyard. There were many such courtyards in the Wu clan compound. During the spring and summer, these courtyards would become filled with flowers, flowing streams, and an array of trees. But right now, it was a winter wonderland. Branches with no leaves were instead covered with a layer of white snow. Wu Jian shivered a little. Are you cold? Asked Wu Meiying. A little, he admitted. Then let's sit close together. That way we can warm each other up. Wu Meiying scooted closer until their shoulders and thighs were touching, then spread the scroll across their laps. He touched the aged parchment, which crinkled under his fingers. The scroll had a lot of writing and a diagram of the human body. Both of them could read what was written. Clan members were taught to read and write at a young age. Let's see what it says, Wu Meiying murmured, her breath coming out as white steam. Cultivation is the art of gathering qi into one's body to increase your strength, live longer, and attain unique powers that normal humans cannot use. There are as many ways to gather qi as there are stars in the sky, but the most basic method is gathering the yin and yang energies of the world into your dantian to increase your strength. Cultivating sounded difficult to Wu Jian. He didn't understand how someone could gather the yin and yang of the world. But perhaps that was because his dantian hadn't activated yet. Wu Meiying continued reading out loud, finger tracing a line across the scroll. A person's cultivation can be separated into 9 realms. Each realm has 9 sub-realms. The Deva realm and Body Forging realm are the only exceptions to this rule. The realms are divided into the following: Body Forging realm, Hunger realm, Anima realm, Asura realm, Human Limit realm, Deva realm, Seeker realm, Realization realm, and Perfection realm. Is something wrong? Asked Wu Jian. Wu Meiying furrowed her brow as she finished reading off the realms listed. Something was bothering her, though he couldn't for the life of him imagine what. He waited and watched, lightly swinging his feet back and forth, the ends of his shoes kicking up small motes of white powder as they grazed the ground. I feel like there is something wrong with this explanation, she said, pursing her lips. What's wrong with it? He asked. Um, I'm not sure, but I feel like there should be a lot more realms, shouldn't there? Asked Wu Mei Ying, like she wasn't sure herself. Shaking her head, she continued reading. The body forging realm is the first realm, and breaking through it to reach the hunger realm is considered a rite of passage for children entering adulthood. It doesn't have any sub-realms, since it's about training the body and not gathering chi. The body forging realm is measured by the physical strength of the cultivator. Hey, doesn't this mean we can train in the body forging realm? Maybe, said Wu Jian. I think it does, Wu Meiying said. Look here. It says the reason children aren't allowed to cultivate is because our meridians in Dantian aren't fully developed until we turn 18. However, the body forging realm isn't about cultivating. It's about strengthening the body so we can cultivate. This must be why all children of the Wu clan are required to practice martial arts from a young age. Once someone in the Wu clan reached the age of 6, they were put in classes designed to strengthen the body and train in martial arts. Wu Jian didn't know why, but if he was to believe this scroll, then they were probably training their body so they could break through to the hunger realm. That made sense, as he had often wondered why he and Wu Mei Ying had been forced to train and why their strength was tested every year. That settles it. I think we should begin training our bodies. I mean, we're kind of already doing that in class, but I think we should begin training on our own time too, Wu Meiying said with a nod, as if it was already a done deal. Wu Jian wasn't as sure about this as she was, but he eventually nodded anyway. Okay. But how are we supposed to train our bodies? Wu Meiying tilted her head. Well, by exercising and stuff, right? I'm sure Wu Yeye will know of a book or scroll we can read that has strength training exercises. We can talk to Wu Yeye later then. I think we should read more about cultivating right now, Wu Jian suggested. Good idea. Let's keep reading, Wu Meiying agreed. They continued to read until it was late in the evening. Wu Jian found the various realms fascinating. It sounded like each realm offered far more power than the previous one. The one that sounded the most frightening was the Deva realm, which only had 3 sub-realms. That might have made it sound like breaking through to the next realm was easy, but each sub-realm of the Deva realm brought down heavenly tribulation lightning. The only way to break through was to survive all 3 tribulations. According to the scroll, most cultivators who attempted to break through this realm died, which was why there were only a handful of cultivators who had stepped into the realm beyond, and they were all renowned figures whose names echoed across the Zhao continent. Look here. It says the number of heavenly tribulation lightning bolts that strike a cultivator during their heavenly tribulation equates to how much potential they have. The more lightning bolts someone is struck with, the more likely they are to become powerful individuals once they break through. I wonder what the highest number of lightning bolts someone has been struck with is. Wu Mei pondered out loud. I'm not sure I want to think about that right now. It sounds scary, admitted Wu Jian. After they finished reading, the two walked up to Wu Yeye, who was putting books back on their shelves. They waited until he was done before getting his attention. He turned to them with a kind smile. Are you two done reading? He asked. We are. Thank you for letting us read this, said Wu Jian. Do you have any books on strength training exercises we can practice? Asked Wu Meiying. I already guessed that would be what you want next, Wu Yeye said with a smile. This is why I have already prepared several scrolls for you. These ones have multiple copies, so feel free to take them to your rooms. Just make sure you don't damage them, and bring them back when you're done." "Thank you," Wu Jian and Wu Meiying said at the same time. Wu Yeye had given them 10 scrolls that they took to Wu Jian's room, which was located on the eastern side building in the main courtyard. Wu Meiying's room was located in the south side of the main courtyard. It was the most secluded building in the complex and used by all the unmarried women of the clan. Wu Meiying almost never slept in her own room, however. Wu Jian and Wu Meiying would have pored over the scrolls that Wu Yeye gave them, but a loud bell rang out, echoing across the entire compound. They looked at each other. "I guess it's time for dinner," Wu Jian said, setting the scrolls onto his bed. "We can look at the scrolls later tonight before bed. Let's hurry up. I don't want to be late for dinner." "Oh, Anime Hero Gamer fan, welcome. Good to see you again." Where was I? "Let's hurry up. I don't want to be late for dinner." Wu Meiying grabbed his hand and pulled him out of his room. The dining hall was located in the middle of the clan compound. It only had 1 floor, but it was the largest building present and surrounded by all the others. All members of the clan were required to eat dinner there at the same time. Wu Jian's mother once told him this was so members of the clan could mingle with their peers and make friends. Sharing food with others was a good way to solidify relationships, or so she had said. There were already a lot of people when they arrived, and most of them were sitting down with food in front of them. They spoke to their neighboring clan members with happy smiles. Despite its vast size, it was loud inside of this building, with so many people talking at once. Ho. Oh. Never mind, that's someone who was in here a while ago. I don't know if they're still here, though. Where was I? There were already a lot of people when they arrived, and most of them were sitting down with food in front of them. They spoke to their neighboring clan members with happy smiles. Despite its vast size, it was loud inside of this building, with so many people talking at once. Wu Jian could see his father, mother, and his father's second wife sitting at the head table alongside the 3 elders. I am indeed reading. I'm actually reading this. So this is actually one of my books. Welcome to Anime, by the way. His father's name was Wu Yoshi, and he was a large man with broad shoulders, a thick chest, and powerful arms. His father's long hair was tied into a top knot with a hairpin, which was impaled through the middle. With a constantly brooding expression on his powerful-looking face, he appeared stern and uncompromising, with eyebrows like swords and a pointed beard. The hanfu he wore was red and white. Several people spotted them as they walked into the dining hall. A few pointed and whispered, laughing afterward. They must have been making fun of Wu Jian's appearance. It was something people often did, and while he was able to ignore it because it happened so often, it still hurt. Wu Meiying kept a firm grip on his hand as she led him to where his father, mother, and his father's second wife were sitting. "Fuqi," Wu Jian said. He removed his hand from Wu Meiying's, placed the fist of his right hand into the palm of his left, and bowed. You read often, Dianime?" "Wu Jian, were you out frolicking with Wu Meiying again?" "You know, I do not approve of that," his father said. His voice was deep, like rumbling thunder. Wu Jian had once heard that his father had been called the Tiger of Shang in his youth because of how powerful he and his voice were. That boy is always playing with Wu Mei Ying. Oh, whoopsies. My bad, hang on. That boy is always playing with Wu Mei Ying. I believe that is the reason his mannerisms are so much like a girl's, said Wu Taohua, his father's second wife. Her skin was pure white, but Wu Jian knew that was because she wore a lot of makeup, unlike his mother, who preferred wearing no makeup. Her lips were painted bright red, and her hair was styled into a bun, with several strands untied at the back. The headdress she wore was made of plated gold and looked like a dragon's claw. Cute stickers. Oh, go easy on him, you two, said his mother. These two have been close since the moment we adopted Mei Er into the clan. It is only natural that he would spend most of his time with her. Remember how they would always cry whenever we tried to separate them? Besides, they are both still young. I believe we should let children be children. While Wu Taohua wrinkled her nose like she had smelled something foul, his father sighed and offered his mother an indulgent smile. I suppose it would not be the end of the world. However, I do wish Wu Jian would act in a manner that is more befitting his station. You understand, Wu Jian? You are the heir of the Wu clan. That means you must be strong, you must be proud, and you must never bow to anyone who is not your father, your mother, or the emperor. We might be a small clan, but that does not mean we are not mighty. Yes, Fuqing, Wu Jian said dutifully. He had heard all of this before. His father often told him that he should act more manly, that he should be bolder, because that was more befitting the heir of the Wu clan. He didn't really agree with his father, but he knew better than to argue. Go and eat your food, you two. His father dismissed them. Yes, Shushu. Yes, Fuqing. Today's dinner smells delicious, Wu Meiying added as they left. His father shook his head, and his mother smiled, while Wu Taohua and the three elders gave her a disapproving look. Wu Meiying was often looked upon with mixed feelings by the rest of the Wu clan. She was not a member of the clan by blood, which meant she was seen as less important than the sons and daughters of the clan. But she was very pretty, and many of the boys in the clan were infatuated with her appearance, if nothing else. Even some of the men thought she would grow up to be a beautiful young woman, and had their eyes on her future development. The continuation of family lines was an important tradition. However, it wasn't enough to merely sire an heir. This was especially true for clans, even small ones like theirs. Great importance was placed on a number of factors when considering marriage: appearance, pedigree, and talent. This was done because clans wanted not only to continue the family line, but also to create a stronger next generation. A beautiful person would always be looked upon more favorably than someone who was ugly. A person with a powerful pedigree had greater status and therefore greater wealth than someone who had none. And above all that is talent. Those who had a strong talent for cultivating were the cream of the crop for marriage candidates. It's called Severing Time and Space. It is actually a book that I wrote myself. If someone had all three, they were perfect. Wu Meiying possessed all three traits in spades. She was very pretty, even by the Zhao continent's standards. She was the adopted daughter of the head clan, so she had the pedigree. And she was strong. Physical strength was a good determining factor for figuring out cultivation talent before a person could cultivate. And she had more strength than even most of the older boys. The older men in the clan were waiting to see if Wu Meiying would be a good match for their sons. Like all clansmen, they were interested in further strengthening their position. They would gladly have their sons marry Wu Mei Ying if she could help them achieve greater status than they had now. Bro, you're giving me a sticker bombardment. Dinner that evening was fried rice, Peking duck, and stinky tofu. Wu Jian was not a fan of the tofu because of how strongly it smelled. He preferred the duck and fried rice. However, Wu Mei Ying loved the tofu. She said the strong smell added to its flavor. He would admit that it had a very strong flavor, but he also couldn't say he liked how it tasted either. The duck, on the other hand, was very good. It was served in bite-sized slices and rolled up in a wrap with salad and hoisin sauce. The flavor of the sauce complemented the duck, and the salad wrap cleansed the palate, so he could enjoy more food without having to deal with the strong aftertaste. My compliments to the chef. This tofu is delicious. Wu Mei Ying moaned happily around a mouthful of food. Her smile was so blissful that Wu Jian was almost tempted to believe the tofu was actually good. Almost. I don't know how you can eat that, Wu Jian said. I don't know how you can not eat it, she shot back. It smells. Yes, it smells delicious. As Wu Jian spoke with Wu Mei Ying, he felt a pair of eyes on him. He looked around and found Wu Yang glaring at him. Before, whenever this happened, Wu Jian would always look away out of shame and fear. He was even about to do just that. But then he remembered what Wu Mei Ying had said to him in the hospital. He needed to be stronger. If he didn't become stronger, the visions she had seen of him dying and her being taken away would come to pass, and he did not want that. He was more afraid of losing Wu Mei Ying than he was of Wu Yang. He met Wu Yang's glare, even though he wanted to look away. His body trembled, but he held the older boy's gaze. This caused Wu Yang's face to turn red. He leaned over and whispered into Wu Fei's ear. The other boy looked over at him, sneered, then whispered something back to Wu Yang. Wu Jian wondered what they were talking about, but his attention was pulled away when Wu Mei Ying held out her chopsticks. I know. Why don't you try some of my tofu? No, thanks. Please, I insist. No, thank you. But it would make me really happy if you ate my tofu. Please, just try it. Wu Jian grimaced, but he couldn't deny her when she looked at him with those big blue eyes that reminded him of a clear blue sky. He leaned over, opened his mouth, and allowed the girl to place her chopsticks holding the tofu into it. The food touched his tongue, and he couldn't keep from grimacing. Just like he thought, it tasted awful. Alright, so that's pretty much all we get. This was just a short read-through. I'm doing this by chapters, so we just finished chapter 2, which means we will be on chapter 3 the next time I read this. This is a story that I read in the evening, so if you ever wanted to listen to me read, just pop in the evening to see if I'm around. So I'm heading out now, though. I'm going to go to bed myself soon. But thank you guys for joining me. Anime Hero Gamer fan and Raiden and Die Anime especially. I'm glad you're all here. Yeah, thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a little embarrassing reading my own stories out loud, but it's probably good for me, because I think it's best to get over any shame I might have about my writings. Alright, you guys, I hope you all have a great night. Don't stay up too late. And I will likely see you all tomorrow, where I will be playing Peak. Right? Now, allergies are so fucking bad right now, especially because I go outside to walk my cat, which sounds odd, I know, but we do. We go outside and we walk, but my eyes are super irritated right now. So let me see if I can show you him. There he is. He's out like a light right now. Oh no, he woke up. Yeah, well, I take Flonase and Zyrtec, but I may need to add some eye drops as well. My allergies are super bad. I'm pretty much allergic to like everything outside. So, alright, you guys, have a good night. I'll see if I can pop in again tomorrow if you want me to read to you. And I guess that is all. Peace out, you guys.